Sunday, the 13th of August, and we are on the Australian dollar, US dollar. So let's have a quick recap of this market from last week in relation to our Sunday analysis, and then we'll have a look at the market for the trading week ahead. Okay, so on the Australian dollar, US dollar last week, we were still looking for bearish movements, with the buy zones really only coming in at these levels right here. Previous structure giving us the clues for potential support. You can actually see on Friday we have came down there, tested at levels, and then we have seen the bullish bounce. Okay, so next week, well, not too much has actually changed on this market. We are still really looking for the same things. Now, we have been making a pullback, but as yet that pullback, it hasn't really gone anywhere. It's sort of just drifting lower. No real strong bearish sentiment has came into this market as yet. Levels of support remain the same. We have one right here, and then we have one just lower, taking into considerations the lows of that little swing back as we were making the very, very strong bullish move up. If we actually scroll back, there's the argument for bringing it ever so slightly lower. Could even bring it down toward the 7775 area. So one right here. And one right here. Now, if we start to break below these levels, then we are looking at that stronger correction that we have been looking for down toward this whole section of price action right here. Really, it's from 7750 and lower. Now, if we get down into those levels, once again, I would be happy to look for potential bullish movements. It would be the market breaking up above key levels of resistance and that ascending triangle that we went over quite a few weeks ago now, where we were looking for that strong break up that we've seen. It would be the market breaking up above the level of the ascending triangle and then pulling back to test as support for that potential move higher. So really next week, key levels 1 and 2. We can look for support in these areas. However, for me, still the main levels of support, they're just a little bit lower. It's really starting at 7750, almost exactly 7750, down to around about 7710. This whole area is a potential buy zone, looking for those bullish movements. Now, if we start to see the market rallying once again, well, the first thing is we have that level of resistance sitting right here. So it's actually used quite a lot on the Australian dollar. As we pressed up, we were resting on it on 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. As we've came along, we've tested it again, 4 days, 5 days right here. It's around about 7910 down toward, you can actually bring it a little bit further down, around to 7890. If we are going to continue seeing that bearish sentiment, this is a good area to look for the sells and the continuation of that sweeping movement downward. Now, if we start to break up above, really we're looking back up towards 7990, down into 7970. And then up above, we still have those key levels right here produced by the previous swing. So quite a few levels of support and resistance on this chart. However, what we're really looking for, or what I'm still continuing to look for, is potentially this market to continue its bearish movement down now to retest at these key levels at 7750 and lower. Potential support, potential support. I would also actually be happy if I just get rid of this rectangle. I would also actually be happy if we do start to break down below these and make pullbacks, looking at them for potential resistance down toward that 7750 level. Down here, it becomes very good to start looking for bullish positions and continuation. And then really, I'm just looking to sell into rallies. If we do rally up into any of these key levels, I'm just looking for the potential sell positions until we start to see evidence that the market is looking to do something differently. I mean, right now we are starting to make that rollback. It makes sense that we would look to come down and test that 7750 level. So any rallies, we can continue to look to sell into. Now, the only other thing I would add is if we do start to break back up above this level, where we have tested numerous times, we actually created the two highs on Thursday and Friday of last week, almost exactly at that 7910 level. You can see the high is 79, around about 7911. On this one, 79, around about 7910. If we did see a nice breakup above this level and pullbacks, I would be happy to look for buy positions from this area. And with it being such a strong level of support and resistance, being tested multiple times, if we do break up above, I would expect bulls to at least attempt to force this market back up. They would start to look at this as continuation, making the move up, the pullback, finding a level, and then starting to press off once again. So if we get up above this level, I would be happy to look for those bullish positions. Okay guys, so that is pretty much everything on this market for next week. The key levels really remain the same. Still looking for that potential stronger bearish movement down into key levels of support, where we could then look for, where we could then start to look for those stronger bullish movements. Okay, so as always, I hope that was helpful. I hope you all have a good trading week next week. I'm James Orr, and thank you.